Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Once again, I've opened my emails to a bunch more clips that people have sent me. So today we're going to take a look at these viral venomous snake TikToks, and I'm hoping you're going to tell me what you think in the comments. Let's dive in.
Hey. Yep. Man. What the fuck, the ball?
I always hate the theatrics people do, like wincing like they're in pain when it's biting something that isn't even a part of your body. Also, the stuck shed on it, the scarring all over, and the low venom yield really makes you wonder about the conditions this animal's been kept in.
Friday night with Apollo and the pancakes, cheeky rubs. Cheeky rubs this morning? Yeah, cheeky rubs, huh? Yeah, you love that shit, don't you? You give me more, Dad. Give me more, yeah. Kisses. Good morning. Hey, kisses. Mwah. Guys, have a wonderful day. Pancake says she loves you. Give kisses to them. Kisses, see? Everybody gives kisses. Have a wonderful day.
So this is a clip someone sent me and asked me to comment on because they wondered if having, being a burn victim could compromise your skin and therefore compromise your body's response to venom. So first of all, I want to say that it would be very condescending and quite dumb for us to tell this person, hey, you could get hurt, it would be really painful. I think this person knows about pain. They served in Afghanistan as far as I know, and they are burn victims. But on the other hand, yes, the skin has its own immune response. It has skin-associated lymphoid tissue, which plays a role in coordinating immune response, dealing with toxins, etc, etc. The skin, this classical view that we're told that it's a physical barrier, it's not just a physical barrier. It does do more for our immune system than just keep germs out. It deals with stuff inside our body as well. So yes, for someone with that medical background, in my opinion, handling HOTS, as we call them in the hobby, is much more dangerous.
Have a go at this for comparison. So that on the right, the yellow one, is 8 king brown milkings, and that a little bit there is 30 eastern brown milkings. So eastern brown is the second most venomous snake in the world. So the smallest amount of that would ruin your day. King browns are down the list a fair bit. They're like number 21 or something in the world. What they lack in toxicity, they make up for in volume, and that's what makes them so dangerous, is purely the amount of venom they actually put into you. So most of our highly venomous stuff in Australia only has small yields, but as you go down the list, they start to get bigger, especially if you're black snakes.
Bill Cullet always has something smart to say, I've noticed. I'm hoping someone's going to chime in and do the maths and tell me what they think is worse. Personally, my take is that, bearing in mind they're quite different types of venom, I think that a king brown would give you more chances of lasting tissue damage, whereas an eastern brown would more likely kill you. Okay, black mamba speed, that's not going to be confirmed anytime soon. So I'd probably question that for sure. The rest isn't that bad. That one, it's kind of a shame because I really like the idea and the design. I'd love to see that with little windows of videos of the real snakes so you could identify them in real life and see them moving around at the same time as a graphic. I think that's a cool layout. It's a shame that it was kind of AI slop, really.
Grab him! Oh my goodness, yay! Whoa! An orange one! Did you know that's what that was?
No, they're hard to tell when they're
Whoa,
moving.
that was cool. I never seen one move that quick. Look. That looks like our buddy yesterday that we saw.
Again, this guy and his buddies are always running up to snakes, screaming as they run up, grabbing them, doing God knows what, It's just not appropriate for a wild animal.
I don't want him to keep rolling.
It's okay. Wow! Yay, Emma!
They're scary.
It's a gorgeous one, too.
They're scary looking when they're...
Never seen one this big in my
when
life.
they're driving around.
This is my first big, adult platy ever. I've never seen one this size. This is twice or 3 times the size of any I've ever seen.
This is
twice
my
the size.
That was, of course, a hognose snake. I mean, you can see the snake's playing dead. It's not comfortable. It's not enjoying that. You don't play dead for fun, do you? You play dead if you think something's going to eat you. And like I say, screaming, running up, they can feel the vibrations, they can feel the footsteps, they have some rudimentary type of hearing. Even though people say snakes are deaf, they can hear certain things, so they can perceive that threat. That's an animal that is probably in distress, even though it looks pretty and, fun to handle. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. I don't really know how the algorithm works anymore, but when you do subscribe, it tells me clearly that you want me to carry on with this mission. Thank you very much.
This is the Bushmaster, and oh, is this snake awesome. Now the Bushmaster is the largest pit viper in the world, and their venom is something not to be messed with. It's a mixture of all sorts of different things that just... You're not going to have a good day if you get bit by this snake. And when they can blend into the forest floor like this, people walking by just might not see it and accidentally step on it, and it's not good for them. I basically see this snake as a giant rattlesnake with no rattle. And although the snake is extremely deadly and definitely has a reputation, between 2001 and 2015 there was only an estimated 82 people that died from this snake.
This is true. Bushmasters are shy animals, you don't see them often, and not many people die from their bites. There is an antivenom, or antivenin, you can say either, called, I believe it's called antilechitic serum, but it doesn't work particularly well because their venom varies so greatly, it's so multifactorial, that an antivenin, just one, isn't really enough to deal with it properly.
നിങ്ങൾ മിണ്ടായിക്കോ
So this is a snake rescuer beginning a capture of a king cobra, and she's kind of taking her time. This isn't like the content that you usually see online with people jumping around and shouting and rushing in all directions, because this person doesn't really care about looking sensational. She wants to rescue the animal and get it somewhere safe. I think that was cool to see. She had a plan, she stuck to it, she went about it calmly, she knew the method she wanted to use and she did it effectively. The snake wasn't particularly distressed, it got in the bag eventually. That is a woman whose husband is probably on his toes, because that is the kind of person that would absolutely annihilate you in an argument.
Ja, hy het baie dik gevoel.
Ja, hy is met 'n groot kom so seën. Ek kan niks maak nie. Wees net vir my rustig.
Hy's
Kan jou rustig.
Oh my fuck, dis
Kan
lang.
jou rustig hanteer. Baie so kop bak te maak nie. Sien jy, ons maak jou niks. Kyk hoe reluctant is hulle om te byt.
Nee, for sure, ek verstaan hulle is glad
Maar
nie
ek vat hom
daar.
weg vir die honde.
Ja, dit was wat ek nou. Ek het eers gedink ek kan hulle in die huis toe maak en gaan laat hy gaan,
Slang.
maar toe is ek te bang. Hy gaan nie waar ek wil hê hy moet gaan nie.
Hy probeer nou net los.
Ja, mens kan sien hy's nie aggressive
Jy
nie.
jou so naby in jou koppie vat. Kom ek wys vir jou waarom te gaan. Dit is baie veiliger is. Nou wil hy vlug. Kom.
Hy besef nou iets.
Kom,
As
dankie.
you found your way, boo.
Daar soos jy.
Amazing.
Dit. Nee, blyf in. Daar's
They saw a South African snake catcher called Jerry Haynes, or Hines. I'm not sure which way you're supposed to say it. And he's rescuing a Cape Cobra. He clearly knows how to handle it very calmly. That was pretty textbook really, no drama there, which is cool to see. What I'm noticing though with the Cape Cobra rescues is I've seen several lately, and I keep seeing the same thing. That is like clutter outside a house, hiding places outside a house. Not that people have done it intentionally, but it certainly makes you think about if you live in an area where there are snakes, keeping areas clear, not leaving stuff lying around that they could enjoy hiding behind, because cobras love hiding places, basically.
Inside the secure container is a snake you've probably never heard of before. That's because it's man-made, at least in part. Just kidding, it's right over here. This isn't your typical copperhead. This is actually a cottonhead, a hybrid between the copperhead and cottonmouth. And that's right, they've only been created in captivity and never found in the wild.
That was the account Call Me the Lamp. He does some really interesting content. It's quite fun to watch, and what I do like seeing is that in the background the enclosures and everything is always clean. He takes a lot of care of the animals, otherwise eventually on camera you'd see something that wasn't clean. Basically it's a good way to tell. And the cottonhead It's kind of interesting actually, because it sounds like a simple hybrid, like cottonmouths and copperheads. They're in the same genus, Adchistrodon, with the cantils, so genetically they're not that distant, and a hybrid is quite easy to bring about, basically. But the simple reason they don't hybridize in the wild is because one is mostly terrestrial and the other is mostly aquatic.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
Oh, no, I've never even had one sit like this. This is really cool. Oh, look at that. I mean, it was not near me, but look at my hand. Look at my hand.
Oh, yeah.
There's venom right there. Never got near me, but there's venom on my hand from spitting the venom at me.
Once again, there's an animal that doesn't need to be moved or touched, so let's poke it. Why not? Let's just poke it a few times until it bites, and then you can talk about the venom and, you know, how deadly it is. I mean, he got a bit of venom on him. To be clear, they don't spit venom, but it probably bit at something, you know, and a bit of venom bounced off. It's not the best choice of phrasing, but I don't always choose the best words myself. Still doesn't get him out of the fact that he was poking it, though. That's just one of the weird kind of clips that I get on a regular basis, and people see it and wonder, you know, what to make of the situation. But that's clearly a cobra that is a venomoid. It's had its venom glands removed, and a macaque that has been, you know, trained and habituated to deal with the cobra. So it's kind of a weird thing to do all around, really.
Thử xem ở đây có nét không đó, đây cho cái tủ ai đi. B nè, B mày. Cân 3 Nam, cân 3 Nam không á. Cân 4. Có cái tủ nào không? Ngoài. Cái đấy rồi. Cùng sơn này. Em ra ngoài vậy nào? Ai đấy? Ui giời, đúng. Nắp á.
Bắt để nguyên tăng cái này.
I'd be interested to hear what people think about that. It is a Vietnamese cobra farm, so they're farming the cobras for meat, basically. The conditions don't look great, the handling doesn't look great. Me personally, I eat meat, but I only eat organic meat. It's more expensive, it's more difficult to source sometimes, and I do hate the way in this country, for example, we keep chickens. I think the size limit for what you can keep a chicken on is like an A4 sheet of paper or something ridiculous like that. But I'm extra sensitive about snakes because I like snakes. So this brings up some really interesting and potentially uncomfortable arguments for all of us.
I shared a video a while ago of me assist feeding one of my male blue and Solaris, and recently it has been getting a lot of traction, so I thought I would share another and kind of go over what I'm doing. So this male came to me and he was never eating on his own, so I used 2 large car wash sponges to gently pin him and realign his head so he's as straight as I could possibly get him. And then I'll take a pinky mouse and I'll gently pin him with the forceps. Once I have him pinned and restrained, I will slowly slide the pinky mouse down his throat and get it about as far in as it'll go. Sometimes you have to push a little bit more, but you want to be gentle that you don't hurt them. This video is close to 2 years old now, and this animal does eat perfectly fine on his own.
Pretty textbook for assist feeding a venomous species. It's one of those things that would be more complicated than with a python or a corn snake, for example. Assist feeding with non-venomous species, you can often hold it like that, get the prey in its mouth, hook the teeth a little bit, and then you can delicately kind of take one hand away and hang it by its lower body, and with the prey hanging in its mouth, it'll often continue and eat it. So it doesn't have to be that involved. If you did that with a venomous snake, it could drop the food and swing around and bite you. So it's just another example of how keeping venomous species, it's not for me, for example, it's too complicated with my, apartment and my setup. It's just one of those things. Some people who are prepared and they have the techniques in the room, good for them.
If you thought that was a spider, you'd be finished. That was the spider-tailed horned viper. It's a highly venomous species with a fake bait spider as a tail. If you didn't notice the snake, no worries. Neither does its prey. What they do is they find an area where they camouflage perfectly. And they sit perfectly still with the only thing moving being their tail, or the spider. They move it exactly how a real spider would move. And a lot of birds and small animals eat spiders, so it's a perfect bait. And when an animal tries to claim that meal, they become the meal. And quick, too. They can strike faster than we can blink. We couldn't give this upgrade to a non-venomous snake. On top of that, their venom is a hemotoxin, which means it causes blood clotting and hemorrhaging throughout your whole body. You'll start—
Or Danny, who is widely hated in the reptile community for the the nonsense he puts out. I've been pretty harsh ripping on a few of his videos on this channel, but on that video, I think he did pretty good. In my opinion, that was mostly correct. So really, yeah, you can criticize if you want, but then sometimes you have to give credit where credit's due to hopefully encourage people.
It's 7th of June, so 7 days into winter. I think he bit me. What do I do? What do I do? So I've just been bitten by a red-bellied black snake.
Okay, so at first glance you see that the guy has been bitten whilst free-handling a red-bellied snake, which generally isn't a good idea, right? But some people do it. But he seems to kind of know what he's doing. He's got a pressure bandage and he's called an ambulance. He seems to be taking the correct first aid steps for himself. But then you watch more of the video and you realise, he's done some dumb stuff, really.
I love when it happens right when I'm talking and he's fired up. It's 7th of June, so 7 days into winter.
When he paused there at the end, I think he was actually sucking the venom out, or trying to suck the venom out. First off, he's doing lots of messing around. He's moving a camera around, he's turning the camera on and off, he's holding the snake the whole time when he's doing this, he's moving back and forth, then he's switching between hands, holding the snake up, and the snake's coming up several times. That's giving you a clue of what method the snake wants to use to try and bite you, and then it bites him, and then he goes and tries to suck the venom out. You should never try and suck the venom out, especially with a species that causes tissue damage, or, well, any species actually, I don't know why I'm saying that, but you should never suck the venom out because it can add a secondary kind of infection to the site. It's just a bad idea, basically. But yeah, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. It didn't seem like a bad guy, didn't seem like he was trying to be mean to the snake or anything like that, just doing some stuff that he's probably regretting quite badly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're going to let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.